know, one beyond my wildest dreams. Maybe that road could have carried me to streets of gold. Things aren't always as they seem. Looking back on all the chances that I missed, some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist, I wondered what would change, I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known, that would have kept me from the one I had today. Times gone by, I've traded like dirt into clay. I thought my memories would end. One street over's now 1,000 miles away. When I close my eyes, I'm back to where I've been. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known, that would have kept me from the one I had today.
Good morning, Robertson County. How you doing? This is 1100 WSG. I'm Utah Laverne, and this is One Street Over. And yes, I know a lot of people took the day off today, but I did not, because I am dedicated. Even though I'm off from school, I'm in here this morning. Now don't ask me if I'm going to work during spring break, because I'm not. I'm taking it off. Lee Marie's going to fill in for me during spring break, but I'm going to work on my house. Kaleb Stratton's in the house. He is our regional sergeant. Is that proper? I don't know.
District sergeant.
District sergeant. He is the district sergeant. He is with our wildlife resource office, and we have a new wildlife resource officer who you have yet to bring in.
He'll be here.
He'll be here.
Not today.
He'll be here, but not today. So here's what we're doing today. We've got Kaleb in here. I checked in with Chief Head. He was not available to come in today. We're going to eventually get him in here. We can't seem to kind of get on a good schedule with him, and a lot of it's I've got to find the Jessica version in his office.
Yeah.
You know, because we don't get Sheriff Van Dyke doesn't come in,
one.
Jessica comes in. So I'm wondering if they've got a public resource person like the sheriff's office does, and then we could probably get on a good rotation with them.
You know, I don't think they do.
Okay.
I know the city has one, but so used to the city of Springfield had one for all the departments, kind of, I think.
Oh,
and,
okay.
she left and went somewhere else, and that job was open. So
Okay, well, I'll talk to him. And I reached out to him this weekend. He's like, I'm not available this weekend. Because I always forget. Jessica spoils me because she reaches out to me. She goes, hey, what are we going to talk about?
Yeah.
You show up.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things I'm not accustomed to having to reach out until I normally reach out with reminders saying, hey, tomorrow's your day.
Right.
And we haven't gotten that thing going. And it's not their fault. Again, we're just trying to find the right, what works. And same thing, we haven't been able to really get something on schedule with Congressman Mark Green, but we will. I mean, we've just got to figure all that out. Tomorrow, I had said that we had Mayor Billy Vogel coming in, but because today is President's Day, they're not having the commissioners meeting tonight.
Oh.
So he will be in next Tuesday. So tomorrow, Omar Hamada. I don't know if you've ever heard Omar Hamada.
yeah,
He's
I've heard that name.
well, he is a guy. He's got kind of the same resume as Mark Green. He was, he's a veteran. He is a doctor, and he's just a really very knowledgeable man.
Yeah.
He's one of those that signed back up for them. He had gotten out of the military, re-enlisted at 9/11,
Oh, wow.
and was special forces and like a surgeon, or I don't know. He can tell you. He's got a resume that's just like, okay, wow. But anyway. he's also somebody that is very outspoken about pro-life. And he had tweeted something back when President Trump was around, and Trump retweeted it, and so Omar ended up on Fox News and the thing, you know. So he had that exposure because of a tweet he did. But there's something coming up where they're putting in an amendment. He'll explain it tomorrow in the state legislature, and he is going to outline it for you and tell you need to call your legislatures and make sure that they understand that what they're proposing, there's pieces of it that yes are needed, but there's pieces of it that need not happen because we don't want to open the door to on-demand abortion again in the state. And he will unpack that for you. I shared his post that he did on social media this morning, so you want to take a look at that. You can do that. We'll get to you in just a second, Kyle. I've got some things I got to unpack. So we got that coming up tomorrow. We also need to mention that today is my son Elijah's birthday. Happy birthday, son. I doubt very seriously he is listening because he's probably snoozing right now. I think he's working today, but I doubt he's up yet. So happy birthday, son. Very proud of you, Elijah Leroy Vivio. He's my electrical engineer that I brag on all the time. My students are like, yeah, we know your son. He works for an aerospace company. I'm like, yeah, it's cool, isn't it? But anyway, in today's Bible reading, it is Numbers 14 through 16 and Psalms 44. Numbers 16, no. Today's is Numbers 14 through 16 and Psalms 44. Numbers 14 through 16 and Psalms 44. I got to catch up too, y'all. I've been busy this week and I am behind, so we're reading through the Bible in a year.
Yeah.
You think, I can do this, and then you get busy.
No, yeah, we talked about that last time, I think. Just like you sat down and tried, and then.
Yeah, well, I'm doing it, but I'm doing a lot of audible. I'm listening to it audibly because I just am scattered. Yeah. And plus, too, we just finished with Leviticus. It is hard to read. That's a hard book to sit down and read, but there's a lot of good stuff in there. But anyway, so what's going on with you?
Staying busy.
We're in that lull. You're in that lull, right? Of not too crazy. Right?
You're in the wildlife lull, yes, but the events kick in.
Oh, that's it. Yes.
I mean,
all the things.
We've got NWTF, which just finished yesterday.
Which is what?
The National Wild Turkey Federation.
Okay, and where was that?
Their annual conference comes to Opryland every year, so there are thousands and thousands and thousands of people that come to that.
Really?
So we work that event. We have 2 booths set up there, plus we do security for them as well.
Okay.
So it takes, we had 30 or 40 officers down there probably this year, so just working.
So you've been busy.
That was busy. We've got the, I don't even know what that means. Hold on. I forget the acronym, but SCI convention. It's coming to Nashville this week, so we have officers going to that. Safari Club, Safari Club International. They're a big conservation outfit, and they've never had their conference in Nashville anytime. So anyway, they'll have people from all over the world coming, and that's this Wednesday through Saturday.
Well, it's so funny because my son, the electrical engineer, actually works for SCI. And I was like,
just not that SCI.
Just not that SCI. Yeah. It's like I said, it's aerospace. But anyway, so that's really funny.
So Safari Club International, we got that event coming up this week. Let's see. I think March the 3rd. I guess I'll give a shout out to this for them. March the 3rd. Cedar Hill Baptist Church is doing their wild game dinner.
Fun.
So that's always good. Jimmy Seitz has come and spoke at that before. I don't know who they have coming this year, but so I'll be at that as well.
And what's the date on that again?
Friday, March the 3rd.
Okay, that's coming up fast. Weeks. If you want to go, you need to get in touch with them.
It's a week from this Friday,
Yeah, if you want to go, you need to get in touch with them.
Yeah, it's always packed. So, and I don't have the details at all. I know it.
And
I think they normally open the doors around 5. So they do a ton of giveaways. Mm-hmm. They have all kinds of door prizes, and their speakers are always spot on. So that's pretty cool. But other than that, lots of schools. Right now's the time where we're going to talk to a lot of schools. So I got lots of Crestview. I know I've got 3 different events to do at Crestview Elementary this coming month. So.
Oh, wow. So there you go. It's like when I come in and say, if I come in and say, oh, this is your slow time. No. Yeah. This is the time that we have all the events. For
the law enforcement side, it's kind of slow. So,
but in a minute, we're back into the warmer weather. I know we're having 70s for the next week, but don't let that fool you.
Yeah, don't put that boat out there yet.
My daughter-in-law has this list, and it is preliminary spring or something.
Right.
The 12 seasons of Tennessee, and it's that teasing with the spring,
yeah, like
and
blackberry winter and all that.
yeah, but they're very sarcastic and snarky, and it's funny. She was showing me that yesterday. I should have taken an image of it, but it was quite funny.
Because Friday night was cold.
Yeah, I had to do bus
freezing.
duty.
Oh.
I had to do bus duty on Friday afternoon. It took me at 20. Well, it's so funny. We went I had bus duty, and I left school and had to shop because, we were celebrating my son's birthday this weekend. So I had to get all the food together because we did a marriage conference at Bethlehem Baptist, which was wonderful. And so, I went sliding into Bethlehem Baptist. I didn't even look in the mirror. I was wild looking, but I was so cold. I sat and shivered that night in that place. I was like, I need a blanket. I need something hot to drink because I could not get warm. It was just so cold out at bus duty because that breeze coming through there, it was cold. But it warmed back up. It was beautiful yesterday. We're talking 70s this week.
Yeah, a little bit of rain, but
don't put
some 70s. And
yeah, do not put your winter stuff up there. Yeah, not until about April 15th, y'all. I'm just saying. That's the way it goes. So what's your next thing as far as the hunting season and stuff?
So we got turkey season will be right now a lot of fishing's going on. The fish are biting really good. Oh yeah, they're wearing fish out. So
okay.
We've made some really good cases lately on catching too many fish. People catching too many fish, so that's good.
Really?
Yep, that's something that's ongoing. So
do they take their fishing boat out on this stuff?
Do what now?
Do they get their fishing boat out on this, or are they just standing on the bank?
Yeah, the last case we made,
so
it was the guy was out on his boat. So
okay, what is the limit? I didn't know there was a fishing limit.
It depends on what the fish is. It depends on what the fish is and where the body of water is. So we have like what's called the statewide limit, but then you may have a certain reservoir that we've tested or we've checked, and we realize, well, the statewide season may not be the same for this one, so let's change this one. For instance, I'm trying to think of a good example, and these may not be the right numbers, but let's say crappie on one side of the dam you can have 30, but on this side of the dam you can only have 15. It just depends on the body of water and the habitat and what the fish look like.
How do you stay up to date on that kind of stuff?
It's all on the website and it's all in the fishing guide. So,
okay.
And the new fishing guide, there's one out right now that's still valid, but the new one will be coming out this month.
So the ones that jump though, the
Asian carp.
Yeah. Do we have?
There is no limit on those at all.
There's no limit. That's what I thought. You can
There's
have as
some
many of
fish,
those you
a lot
want.
of fish that don't have a limit, but our game fish we call they do have a limit. So
okay. Are we still having a lot of that Asian carp around? Are we seeing a lot of it?
It's not going anywhere. It's just going to keep getting worse. So
really.
Yep.
How weird.
The federal government is spending millions and millions, if not billions of dollars, dumping it into state agencies to do more research and find out, what we can do to help combat it. But right now, they're still running rampant. So
it's fascinating, and it's a lot of the times this is the reason why you don't introduce species that are not native to your area into an area, because this has happened up in the Upper Peninsula, where my husband is from. We talked a little bit about that this weekend, about him being a Yankee and practically a foreigner because he's like from almost to Canada, and they had a thing up there when he was young where they would go and catch smelt.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Yeah. And I'm guessing it's because they introduced some game fish that ate the smelt, and now they don't. I'm thinking, I may be completely wrong on that, but there's something to do with this. It's not as plentiful as it was,
right?
And I think it has something to do with them trying to bring other things in.
Right now,
I don't know.
These fish, I don't think they're not eating other fish, but what they're doing though, they're still competing for other resources.
Right.
So there's so many of those, and they're out competing all these other fish for the resources they need to survive. So
okay, but you tell me this Asian carp's pretty good though, right?
It's delicious.
Well, see, I kind of want to get a hold of some of that.
They're crazy how good they are.
Okay, well, there's that.
They are. They're they're very bony. But other than that, if you can get through that, there's a place, I've never been there, but I know our fisheries guys were telling us, there's a place where you can actually take your fish that you've caught and give them to them, and then they'll just give you fish, fillets back, the meat back. It may not be your fish, but you give them a certain amount of fish, they give you a certain amount of meat back. So
oh, wow.
You don't have to do any work. You just got to drive them up to this place. So
okay.
We tried making a deal with the Chinese government a few years ago. Our agency actually flew to China to meet with the Chinese government about them wanting the fish, but they wanted them alive, and we said, "There's no way we can get fish from Tennessee to China alive."
No.
So
why would what?
I don't know. We don't know why they wanted all we could get. I don't know. I didn't ask any questions.
How bizarre. How bizarre. It's just
I didn't think we should have dealt with them anyway,
No. Just fly your little balloons over here and mess with us. It's America.
They were trying to find our Asian carp.
That's right. No. You think that's it? Anyway, I'm talking with Kaleb Stratton. He is our district sergeant.
There you go.
There you go. I'm getting it. District sergeant. And not to be confused with the wildlife resource officer. And what is that young man's name?
Jason Shapton.
Jason Shapton. Now, I met him at a Judge Joel Perry event. And and just briefly. Yep. So I did meet him. I can't say I've never met him, but I did meet him. So we'll look forward to having him come in here eventually. And Chief Head, I messaged him this weekend. He wasn't available today. Trent Cobb is coming in. He'll be with us at 7:30 because we've been wanting to get an update on just the building trends. He's the one because whenever wood prices were out the roof, I kind of like to get a gauge and say, well, where are we now? Are things kind of coming back in check and coming back in line? So we're going to be talking with...
it's getting better, I think.
I think it is, too. And so we're going to be talking with Trent here at 7:30. What else do you need to cover before we... Because I know there's not a ton of stuff going on. You got events going on, turkey season coming up.
Yeah, so that's what it looks like.
When is turkey season?
It looks like I'm actually going to be out of town the third Monday of next month anyway, so I won't be here either for spring break because we're going out of town. So you have to get Lee Marie to find somebody to fill in that Monday.
There you go. I'll have to talk to Jessica too. Maybe we'll do something different and move you guys or something.
I'm fine any other Monday. I was just looking at that.
Okay,
but yeah. So if I'm not in here before then, turkey season, they have moved it to April 15th. Okay, which is about 2 to 3 weeks later than what it normally is, and that's caused a lot of people to be mad. So because they're used to turkey season opening at the end of March or the very first weekend of April, and that's just not the case this year. So we're trying to, I say we, the state is doing lots of studies on turkeys right now to try to find out why the population went down so much. And one of the reasons they think, and so they're testing this theory, is they think that we were hunting them too early. Okay. So we were killing the males before they could mate or get the females bred. So we're giving them an extra 2 weeks to start their mating season. So hopefully they can get more females bred before we start harvesting them. Okay. So that's the theory. So that's why it moved up to 2 to 3 weeks. And they've also made it to where, so you've always been able to kill what's called a bearded turkey. Mm-hmm. So if you can kill a female as long as it has a beard. Mm-hmm. And some females grow the beards on the turkey. So, but what they've done is we've decided to go to, you can't kill any immature turkeys except for you can kill one immature, no more than one immature turkey, 2 total turkeys. So in the spring season, one hunter can only kill 2 turkeys. One has to be an adult, one can be a juvenile, or you can just kill two adults. Okay. So that's a really big change that not a lot of people, hopefully everybody knows about it. It's been put out very well over our website, on our app, and in the hunting guide. So, but that's something we'll be looking out for this year, is making sure people are abiding by those laws. Okay, I just can't imagine seeing, because when you see a bunch of turkeys, there's usually only one male in the bunch, isn't there? It's not a lot really. So right now on a farm I hunt, we can go out there right now and I can show you a group of 100 females and maybe a group of only 10 males. So okay. Well, but so the males will hang out in a group together? Right now, all the turkeys are grouped together. That's just that's what they do. But when it comes to their mating time, the hens start breaking up because they're looking for nesting sites. And then since they break up, the gobblers start breaking up to try to find their mate. So you may still see a group of 2 or 3. Interesting. But yeah, they're in a large group right now, but they'll start breaking up. That's just interesting. It's fascinating. Well, and so now I've never had any wild turkey. Oh, but you'll never eat a store-bought turkey again if you do. Really? A store-bought turkey is so horrible now. Really? If you ever have a wild turkey, it's crazy how much better it is than a store-bought turkey. So do you harvest your turkey for Thanksgiving now, or what do you do? No. Well, sometimes. If we have any left over by that time. But, you can, like I said, only one hunter, you can only kill 2 turkeys, so... so it's hard to keep them that long. Well, because you want to eat them. Well, what do you do with your Thanksgiving bird? Do you have to just buy it at the store? So I don't really even eat turkey for Thanksgiving. Really? Yeah. Just because it's always good. Yeah, I always eat ham. you know.
That's un-American.
Well, because we don't ever have any wild turkey left. I guess I just need to make it a point to save the wild turkey and cook it on Thanksgiving.
Because, I mean, this is something you and I have talked about when it comes to turkey season. It doesn't really fall conveniently to Thanksgiving.
It opens in October, you know, the month before. So I guess you could kill your Thanksgiving bird during that time and just freeze it.
What are the limits in the fall?
It's different everywhere. So right now, I believe it's just one, if it hasn't changed. And it may have changed. Don't hold me to that. I have to go back and look.
So you can only get one turkey?
Right, for the fall.
Wow.
It used to be one per county. Well, heck, it used to be 6 per county.
Yeah.
So, like, you could kill 6 in Robertson, 6 in Cheatham, 6 in Sumner. You kill a bunch of turkeys.
Yeah.
But I think it went back to 1. But again, I'd have to look and see.
Well, it's just
when they changed that regulation for the spring hunt, they may have changed something for the fall, but I don't remember.
I kind of want to try to get a wild turkey now because I mean I can't get my men to hunt.
So good.
Yeah, because I'm not a hunter. The idea of shooting a deer, I just don't think I could do it. I mean, if I got really hungry, I could.
Yeah.
But I don't have to, so I don't. And I'm a poultry person. I don't eat a lot of. I eat mostly poultry,
right,
and fish, and mostly poultry. But so I think I would really enjoy a wild turkey. But I'm surprised at the limit. But you got to repopulate them.
Well, yeah, and it used to be 4 in the spring season, but again, because we noticed such a
drop,
a decline in their population, then we had to do something. So,
right,
and it may go back up once we figure out what we're doing, or if we did anything wrong.
Right.
You know, we can figure out what we're doing and put them back up.
Increase the population.
And that's why we have these regulations in place. You know, people think we're overbearing or whatever, but it's like if we kept going the way we were going, we weren't going to have any turkeys. So
right. Okay. Well, there you go. So turkey season coming up, but it's 2 weeks later than what you're accustomed to.
April 15th.
Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. So we're going to pause and do a break talking with Kaleb Stratton. He is our district sergeant and talking about all things wildlife resources. And he comes in once a month, and we appreciate it so much. But we're going to pause and talk about Barry and Rebecca Richards with the Exit Realty Garden Gate team. I've got to reach out to him because I really need his help at school this week. Dr. Causey was in the other day, and we've got these drones, and he said something about, I'd love to have some drone footage of the build at the middle school and the things that are going on at Greenbrier High School, and I can do it, but I'd really like to have somebody that's flown those drones and gotten that kind of footage a little bit more, just to kind of supervise and make sure I don't do it wrong with my students. It's one thing to take those drones and just kind of fly them around where you can see them. That's easy, but when you start trying to go different places, so right out of the gate doing that, I'm going to call Barry and say, come over here and just kind of make sure I don't do anything wrong. And that's the reason I'm telling you that is that's the kind of people that Barry and Rebecca, that's the kind of people they are. They help out in the community. I've mentioned how Barry helped out with Open Door Pregnancy and Resource Center, doing their walkthrough tours and doing some videography for them because he came out of a marketing background. He was the vice president of a marketing company for 17 years up in Nashville and then went full-time with real estate. Rebecca came out of a radiology career many years ago. She's one of the first in the area, actually, to be a seniors real estate specialist, and that just shows that she studies. She's been at this a long time. They're up in Cross Plains. They've been there for over 20 years, so they specialize in Robertson County properties, but they also buy and sell in the surrounding counties and across the state line in Kentucky. They're dear friends, great in the community. They're just wonderful folks. You're going to like working with them and the Exit Realty Garden Gate team. If you are needing some help, whether you're buying or selling, or if you want to be a realtor, they're saying come to the table and come talk to us, and you'll see them at the Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival, third weekend in May. Go and talk to them, and you don't have to wait until the festival though to come out and see them. You can connect with them at sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or buy BUYRobertsonCounty.com, or just give Rebecca a call, 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425. Let her know U-Turn sent you, or let them know U-Turn sent you. Kaleb Stratton's in the house. What else do we need to cover this morning?
Well, that's about it.
There's not too much happening.
Not necessarily.
Other than the events, but they're just kind of like, okay, the events are going on. You need to go if you want to come. Yeah, right.
Right. Yeah. I'm over them now. They used to be fun to go to, but you do it every year, and it's like,
You're like, oh, this
let's
again.
Get somebody else going.
This again. Well, now that you're the district sergeant, can you not make others go? And be like, yeah, y'all go do that.
Yeah, but you got to be a good leader.
Yeah,
you gotta go out there and do it with them.
That's fun.
But with that being said, it is fun to go because we have some other officers from other parts of the state that come in. So it's like a little reunion. We get to come and hang out together and talk. So because we don't get to see each other a lot while we're working. There's only me and Jason here in the county now. So, we see each other a lot, but you don't get to see other officers a lot. So
right.
We do have, this comes up every year, but the National Archery in the Schools program that I've talked about before. It's coming up in Murfreesboro, so it'll be schools from all over the state. We'll have literally probably close to 1,000 kids show up. And it's March 29th through the 31st. Or the 30th and 31st. We'll be there the 29th setting up. But, one of our guys came up and did a presentation for the in-service up here. But nobody ever bites. I don't know why. Because the program is made to do in the schools. And it's great. It's so competitive seeing these kids. And anybody, little kids can do it. The kids that can barely hold the bow can get out there and compete, and it's really cool. Well,
we got our grandson a bow for Christmas last year. You said that. And I don't know. He's shot at some, but I don't know if he's really pursuing it to any degree. Right. But I think it'd be fun. Of course, that's one thing. I think that one of the troubles that you have is kids are involved in so much stuff.
It is, yeah.
And it's hard. We try to have our family day once a month. Trying to find a day when they're not all got something else going on is so hard. And so that may be a part of it, is that they're already extended and stuff.
To say it, the best way to say it is you don't have to be an athletic kid to do this either.
Right.
We have handicapped kids in wheelchairs can do this event. It's not a contact sport. You don't have to run and jump. You literally sit there and shoot.
Yeah.
We have lots of kids with disabilities that actually come up and do it.
That's a great point.
Because you can do it. They can do it. So I'm not saying it's just for them.
No,
but that's what I'm saying. Anybody can do it.
Absolutely.
And so that's what makes it really fun. And just, I talk about events I don't like going to, but I volunteer for that event every year. And my friends that I work with are like, why are you going to that? Why don't you make the new guys go? I'm like, because I love going there.
Yeah.
Because it really is. I really do enjoy it. So, but when you do it in school, it's always in an enclosed environment. So normally it's 90, or if you have a gym, it's always taught in the gym. Because it's made to shoot indoors. So, like I said, very safe.
So if I'm a teacher now, so how would I say, I think this is a good idea. How would I even bring that into the school?
Okay. Oh, well, yeah. Just call me. You can talk to the administrators yourself. I don't know who it was, but one of the administrators actually contacted us to come speak about it. So I don't know what happened. I haven't heard anything else.
At Greenbrier, or?
Well, they had an in-service at Greenbrier last year.
Okay.
Point. So I guess all the teachers came there for the day. I had talked to you about it back then, but I
can't remember, must have been because I was a new teacher.
Yeah.
See, I'm a new teacher, so I don't get to go. I have to go to all the newbie stuff.
I think you went to something else.
That's probably what happened.
At Greenbrier, yeah.
Okay. Well, because we did talk about that, but I don't know. I haven't heard any chatter about it.
I haven't either. So
because you've got to have a teacher that's willing to sponsor it,
right?
And with me right now, I'm just trying to learn how to be a teacher.
Well, and you're already doing the extracurricular. That's part of your. I know, not necessarily extracurricular, but that's something. That's not a normal class, I guess you're teaching.
Sure,
right?
it's not. That's the thing, and so, but still. After I kind of get my rhythm going, it might be something. Because is there what time of the year would it be something you do ongoing throughout the entire year?
Yeah, just whenever y'all. Yeah, just whenever.
How often would you do this?
Totally up to you.
Okay.
It's totally.
So it's like a club, basically.
Right. So they have competitions throughout the year, just like with anything, where two schools compete against each other. And it doesn't take long. You're a couple hours and you're done.
Okay.
So schools compete against each other and then come to the state tournament. And the state tournament, like I said, is in Murfreesboro. We've hosted the world finals here in Nashville twice in the past few years, where literally kids from all over the world come to Nashville to shoot this stuff. And it's all a level playing field. The bows are all the exact same. The arrows are all the exact same. We supply the arrows, so you don't get to bring your own. The bows, you bring your bows, and we inspect them because they can only be one brand. It's a Genesis bow. And they're all the exact same. There's no difference in them. So.
Really? Huh. Are they very expensive, the bows that you're talking about?
No, they're not. So
okay. Interesting.
I can't tell you how much they are, but they're
not but that's fascinating. I think that's just such a cool thing. I cannot sign on to do this right now, but maybe one day.
I just need to find that one teacher that can, so I'll let you help me with that one day.
Okay. We've got to find a teacher that will take this on, because I love the idea of it being something that the kids that have got limited ability, that have got some mobility issues or something to that degree could possibly do. I think that's just cool.
It is.
To give them an option.
Again, you're not out there running and jumping. It's not. It's not an athletic sport at all. fall. So.
That's very cool. Well, anything else we need to cover here? I notice we're coming up on the bottom of the hour.
I think that's it. I know Mr. Trent sitting out there waiting on me.
Well, and I'll see if we can't work out something to get you in here earlier or after spring break.
Just like I said, any other Monday I'm good, but we're going to be out of town that Monday. So
especially with us coming up with turkey season. Tell me again when turkey season starts.
So it's going to open April 15th.
April 15th is turkey season.
So that's about 2 weeks later than normal. So the juvenile hunt should be the week of the April 8th and 9th.
Okay.
Which is Easter Sunday, actually.
Okay. So. Well, we'll try to get you in, prior, just to remind people that is coming up. So I'll take a look at the schedule and see if we can't work something out. Awesome. Well, you have a great spring break in case I don't see you. What is that QR code on the back of your phone? I've been meaning to ask you.
I'm glad you asked. That's a podcast that we started. It's called Bubba's Bout Broke. It's a racing podcast.
Okay.
And it has taken off. That's actually where I was part of the weekend, was down at Duck River Raceway. Highland Rim sponsors us, and we sponsor them. Duck River sponsoring us, we're sponsoring them. So
how funny!
It's amazing. It really took off. We some buddies, we were at Talladega one year, and he's like, "You want to start a podcast?" This was in October, and I'm like,
"Oh, how funny!"
I guess. So we're in his basement once every Monday, and
it's called what?
Bubba's Bout Broke.
Bubba's. I love the title.
There's our car we got.
Oh my gosh!
So that's Jackson's new pro late model.
Bubba's Bout Broke podcast. So, that's fabulous. There's the QR code. I don't know if you can see it. So if you want to take Bubba's Bout Broke, that's great. I just saw that QR.
Facebook page and stuff. So
well, that's great. Bubba's Bout Broke.
I'm having a blast. So it's like this, obviously, but we're talking, and
that's fun.
It's cool because people are loving it. People are coming to us. Like, we're not having to go out and get sponsors. They're calling us. We've had 2 sponsors in the last week call us and say, "Hey, we want to give you money for your show." I'm like, great. That's
awesome. Hysterical. So, how fun. I love hearing stories like that. Bubba's Bout Broke. I love the title.
It's about, just racers. It's these people, these racers, and we're one of them, and we don't have money.
Yeah.
You keep pouring money into a sport, and you never win at hardly, but you keep coming back. Like, why would you do that? So
that's hysterical.
Anyway,
Bubba's Bout Broke.
Talk to drivers every
week.
That's
great.
So.
Well, we gotta.
Thanks for asking. Yeah.
Absolutely. We'll let you switch and let Trent come on in here. Thanks, my friend. I'll see you later. Kaleb Stratton, he is our district sergeant, and needs you to check out Bubba's Bout Broke. I love it. While Trent's getting settled, let's talk about Corbin Creek Greenhouse Gifts and Gardening Center. Now's the time to get out there and talk to Miss Amy. Now, I keep saying she's not so busy. Well, that's probably not true anymore, because she's getting all the bedding plants ready and getting all the rooting going, and so that whenever you go to plant your garden, it's going to be awesome. That is something that I just continue to use the testimony Brian Pooley had. He said this past year he used all of his bedding plants. They all came from Corbin. Best garden he ever had. So that is your task. Go and talk to them about the bedding plants that you need and when you need them and what you're going to plant and all of those things. Talk to them about CBD products while you're out there. I got to go by there because I am just about the same as out. And I use CBD to help me with my arthritic pain. I've got arthritis. It is a big thing with my family. And I don't like taking pills. So my doctor actually told me to get on CBD, and it has really helped me a lot. And I love the fact that I can get Robertson County CBD and go and talk to Amy, and she'll answer all my questions. You can go and talk to them you can go and stop by there at 4920 Highway 161, 4920 Highway 161 in Springfield. You can give them a call at 615-384-3185, 615-384-3185. They are still on winter hours. I'm not sure when they'll switch over and extend those hours again, but right now they're on 10 to 4, Monday through Saturday, and 1 to 4 on Sunday. You can catch them out there and go and talk to them and get all your questions answered. And the one thing too, cannot say this enough, do not cut back your evergreens. That was a big question I had. I have ivy everywhere, and my ivy, it looks dead. But if you scratch the stalk of it or the stem of it, you'll see that it's still green. Some stuff's going to come back. We're going to have to do some pruning, I'm sure, but it's not dead. Just give it some time. We got to wait for this, everything to warm up and everything to start growing. So Amy says, don't cut it yet. Don't cut it yet. Wait, and let's see what spring does. But when you get by there, let her know that U-Turn sent you and that your ad dollars are working. Trent Cobb, so good to see you, my friend.
Good to see
Pull
you.
that microphone down to you, my friend, and let's just kind of catch up. I haven't seen you since before the holidays.
I know it, and I'm going to have to start wearing a suit and tie in here. I mean, you've got all gussied up and.
Well, they're gonna change out this board, and you don't. It was just like talking to Kaleb just now. They've started a podcast. You can broadcast with a computer. You don't need all of this. And so they're getting ready to change some things out in here, the technology, so and so they can ultimately get a better product out. And this is a Christian radio station, and they want it to reflect that. And so as they do that,
I love it,
and I do too. And so that is, he came in and redid this one weekend. I came in, I was like, oh, looky there. So it is very nice, and they just, bless their hearts, they've worked their tails off ever since they took over this radio station, and it's just they do it just as much as they can on as time and finances allow. They're making improvements. So just sit tight. There ain't no telling what they're going to do with this place, because this is a worldwide broadcast facility. Did you know that?
Yeah, right here in
Robertson County.
Yeah.
And so worldwide, you can broadcast via, of course, the internet, but we've got a signal that covers the county and the edges of the other counties around us. But and it's a good it's a good company. They've done a fabulous job. Love bragging on Ebenezer Broadcasting. So how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Okay.
Great. Still just as busy as ever. Hope to keep slowing down. When I went and transitioned to 100% custom homes, I thought this would be better. No specs, not anything like that. But it's still just, they're still out there.
Well, and the main thing I really wanted to talk to you about is because it was really just about a year ago, maybe a little over a year ago, when we were looking at lumber prices that were just insane. You couldn't get stuff. And then it was about this time last year, I guess, when it started kind of balancing back out.
Yes.
So where are we now in regards to the crazy?
Lumber prices have basically fallen back down to almost normal, or pre-COVID, pre-whatever you want to call it, pre-boom prices.
Okay.
Like a 12-foot 2x4, is costing you somewhere right around $5 or $6 now, something like that. Where, a year ago, that same 2x4 was going to cost you almost $20.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That's just nuts. I mean, that was just insane. And so it's back. And I'm wondering, and I know you're not a farmer, but I'm wondering what that's going to do.
Well, we do have a farm.
Oh, I didn't think I knew that.
Yeah. My son Jackson, he does 90% of that.
Okay.
But yeah, he raises cattle and hay and tobacco. So.
Well, did you have to deal with, because my brother is row crop, and so when it comes to the fertilizers and all that,
and everything like that,
and have those prices come back in line?
Not all the way down, but they're better than it was. But I mean,
last year was insane.
You couldn't afford to do anything. I mean, it's just
it's been weird. I mean, but things you feel like they're kind of stabilizing.
All except for, I will say this: anything electrical or plumbing is still crazy. I was just looking at some prices the other day on bidding a house, and like 3-inch electrical conduit that you put in the ground to run from your electric pole to your house is the Schedule 40 is like $6 and $7 a foot.
What?
Yeah, Schedule 80 is $10 a foot. I mean, and just a year and a half ago, you're looking at less than $3 for Schedule 40. And so I mean, those kind of prices are still doubled.
I wonder.
And that holds true with all the PVC pipe that goes into your house for plumbing and all that, and the PEX pipes and stuff like that. They're still just crazy.
I wonder why. Any kind of reasonable...
There is no explanation except for, I think, greed, basically.
Really?
Kind of like the egg situation,
Well, the eggs I've noticed have come down to some degree. Now, they're still higher than they were, but I bought eggs actually this past weekend on Friday, and I thought, okay, well, they're about half of what they were.
Yeah.
A month ago. So, and I mean, that's another thing. Never let a crisis go to waste. How many times have we heard that? And they do that. And if they can, that's one thing I don't understand. And you have to, being a builder, all of these things affect you. Gas prices.
Oh, yeah.
That's one thing I don't understand. I can go down the road and gas will be 20 cents cheaper a gallon. I do not understand that. And how does that affect you from a building perspective? Because you got to put fuel in your vehicles.
Yeah, well, it does affect me. Now, luckily, we have, and I'm going to give them a little commercial spot here this morning, Dean Oil Company in Springfield. That's where I buy 95 to percent of my fuel.
Okay.
You know, so people say, well, why do you go there for? You know, you can get a few cents cheaper here or there. Well, you know, they're a locally owned business. Their fuel and stuff, they don't have any ethanol in it.
That's the key right there.
It's the key right there, which gives you better gas mileage, better fuel for your engines and stuff like that. So, but yeah, well, you know, if I can fill up for less than $150, I'm tickled to death now.
Okay.
You know, in my truck, and you know, back in the glory days of 2.5 years ago, when we had a decent president in office, you know, you could fill up for $60.
That's crazy.
I know. I said that on the air, and I know you can't say that, but
well, I mean, we get political, and some we don't sit there. I mean, we've got Omar Hamada coming on tomorrow. Is going to be talking about the abortion legislation. There's something that's being, and he'll have to explain it better. But they're getting ready to push something through, or they're getting ready to introduce something to clarify some things about the abortion law, and. So he's like, there's pieces of it that are needed, but some of it that's not, and could open the doors. And I say this because I know you're like me, you're very conservative politically. And so he's going to do some clarification on that, because he's a doctor, he's a veteran. I mean, he's all those things.
Yeah.
So he's got a resume very much like our Congressman, Mark Green. And so he can speak to that with authority. So he's going to come on and kind of clarify that. But yeah, we got to pay attention. While we don't do a lot of politics here, because we're talking about the local things, we do. Oh, speaking of local, congratulations, Mayor Ann Schneider Williams.
Oh,
she got married this weekend. I'm so excited for them. That is so fun.
And I think I called it. I told her, you know, several months ago when they was dating, you know, y'all are going to end up married. Oh no, we don't think we're ready for that yet, and all that. And all of a sudden, here they are. So
what threw me is I knew that they got engaged over Christmas, and then and so she'd been talking. I didn't know they were getting married this weekend. It was so, you know, but when you're older, you're like, hey, let's just go. Let's just do this thing.
And as powerful as she is, she had to keep it on the down low. You know, she didn't want all the paparazzi there and everything else.
She's so funny. She's so cute. Yeah. I had her, I talked to her not that long ago, and I just didn't realize it was happening that quickly, but congratulations. Congratulations, Mayor. Yeah. And, but we don't do a ton of politics, but I've got Pamela Furr coming on now from 99.7. And I told her, I said, she's a believer, and I said, I need to know, as a person of faith, because I've checked out, I've turned the news off, y'all. I just don't watch it anymore. And everybody's like, Laverne, why have you done? Because I said, Jesus said I don't. God has not led me down that anymore. For a while, that's exactly what I felt like I was being called to do, and that door has shut. And I don't know that it'll ever crack open again. But that does not give me the excuse to not pay attention and not do what's my responsibility.
That's exactly right.
And I've got to pay attention, like just as this stuff that Omar is going to come on and talk about tomorrow. Yeah. We need to be aware of this and make sure. And I know our senator and our representative, they're aware, and they know, they understand this. Yes. I feel very sure. But Omar's going to come on and clarify that. So I don't know why I'm going down a rabbit hole. When you mention politics, we go down a rabbit hole real quick.
That's exactly right.
But anyway, the reason why we have Trent Cobb here, he is from Cobb Hill Homes, and he is a custom builder. Tell them what you do and all the things that y'all do real quickly before we go any further.
Well, like I say, we are a custom home builder and a real estate brokerage that me and my wife Diana own. Like I say, we do, like I say, almost exclusively custom homes now. I mean, I will say that. You know, I'm not going to build any spec homes out there. I'm not going to try to do anything like that. If you need a custom home built, then, you know, I'm there to help you out. And for all the real estate needs, she has 7 or 8 other agents in her office, Penny Callis being one of them.
And my friend, the hairdresser.
Yeah. So for all the real estate side of it. And I might add, you know, finally, and I think this is a good thing, house prices are, you know, they're starting to level off to where they need to be. I mean, this jumping out there and paying $70,000 and $80,000 over list price, and sometimes even more than that, is not a good thing at all. It's good for the short term, but it's gonna. I don't want to say that we'll have an '08 again, but I mean it could have happened. But since it started leveling off, I think Robertson County is in a better situation than most because of where we're located. We're still a nice rural area, but close enough to Nashville that,
Yeah.
you know,
It's high demand. It's high demand.
still
It's a high demand
here.
property.
Dinah says that, you know, we've got basically about 2 months of inventory on the market as far as houses and stuff like that. So, you know, it was, you know, you had 10 minutes worth of inventory.
Oh, it was just constant. With Penny doing this, you know, and her being my hairdresser, we talk. And so she would talk about things just, you know, coming up and the urgency and all that. And it seems to have kind of leveled back out for her, and she's enjoying it. And it's fun to hear her talk about it because it's something, you know, it's on the side that she can do, and she's enjoying that. And I just think it's so cool. But one thing, too, that I think has been reassuring, I have a friend that recently bought a home, and their interest rate was not what I was expecting it to be. It wasn't, I thought it was going to be 7-8%, but no, it was in the 4s.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can still get an interest rate that's not just insane. Because when they tell me they were buying, I'm like, why would you buy now?
Yeah.
And but it's not crazy. So I mean, even though the interest rate is what it is from a federal perspective, the interest rate on homes is still not insane if you've got good credit. Now that's a key. You've got to have good credit, probably some money down, things like that. You've got to have all the things in line.
Yeah.
But when he told me what their interest rate was, I was like, oh, okay, well, that's not bad. That wasn't bad.
Yeah.
So, because I figured it was 8%. I don't know.
But me and you, we remember the 10 and 11%. You know, so people nowadays are extremely spoiled. If they was having to pay over 3, you know, they was, what's? I said, y'all just don't understand.
Yeah,
you know?
mine's in the 3s. So.
Yeah.
And then I ain't touching it. I'm not touching it. I am not touching it. Talking with Trent Cobb from Cobb Hill Homes. If you have any questions regarding what's going on, the trends in construction, what's happening with real estate and things like that, now's a chance to throw those questions out. So how many how many projects have you got going right now?
I have 4 customs going right now, and I have, well, as of last night, I think probably 5 more to start within this year.
Wow.
So, which is plenty enough for me. I'm getting old. I want to slow down a little bit. You know, so, but anyway, but yeah, so, but
that's fun though.
Yeah, they're all over the place too. I've still got them.
I've seen some of your homes, just beautiful.
Yeah.
Y'all do just beautiful work. Beautiful work.
Well,
Now
we try.
Well, you do. You have y'all do an excellent job. Now, are you still doing some remodels?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we still do some remodels. Just finished one up on 22nd Avenue for a couple that was just, you go in there and this house was built in the 40s, and you try to update it and make it still look like it was built in the 40s,
right?
But with all new stuff, and they can be challenging, but you know it turned out beautiful. So
I bet. Well, do you have situations where you have to go in and like pull out the pipes and things like that?
This one that we just did. I mean it. Yeah, I mean all new plumbing. You know, all the way to the street. A lot of new electrical, because some of the electrical had already been updated, but you know, a lot of new electrical, new cabinets, all new flooring, completely new bathroom, new laundry room. So
oh wow. Yeah, it's like a new house.
Yeah.
Well, you know, my daughter-in-law's mother right now, they had, during the big boom, whenever everything was selling and you couldn't find a house, they were, and this is out in Mount Juliet, but they were trying to find something to get closer to my son and her daughter, and they ended up just completely renovating their house, and I've been just stunned at what you can do. I mean, every room of that house is getting touched, adding on a closed-in a sun porch thing, or what do you call it?
sunroom.
Sunroom. They're adding on a sunroom, and they're building an in-ground pool. I mean, this place is going to be something.
Well,
it is cool what you can do.
That's what a lot of these crazy prices did. Is people, instead of just, well, I don't really like this house anymore, we'll put it on the market, we'll go buy something else. When prices started going crazy, then people start looking at, well, let's see what we can do to remodel this one, you know, and make it what we want.
Yeah.
And that created a whole nother market, you know, for people to come in and, you know, completely remodel homes, or, you know, like I say, add a sunroom, do something different, you know, so.
Okay.
But,
speaking of doing something different, just because I really want to do that with my house, and we have got this lower part of our house that was my studio for radio, and I had like a little sewing room, and it's a little utility room. But it's this. I would really like to remake that into a master bedroom. But you have to go downstairs, and it's on level. And so my husband, because we need to put a bathroom down there. And so my husband's like, oh, that's hard to do because you have to, what do you have to do when you've got a lower level and you're trying to put in a bathroom? I mean, how do you accomplish that?
Okay, well, there's a couple of different, well, not really a couple. There's one, you have to basically add either a grinder pump, is what they call it, down low that will... Now we're going to get all into the gory details of it, but you have a tank, and then it has a pump inside of it. So any water or anything else that goes down
in your sewage,
then it would pump it back up to your existing septic tank and field lines.
So it's something,
it can be done, yes.
Is it terribly expensive?
It depends on what you call terribly expensive. I would say, grinder pump and pump lines and electrical and all that, you're looking to spend $1,500 to $2,000 just to get it
where it'll work.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's one of those things. Because I know with him and I being older, and that would still involve steps, but it'd be less steps. Trying to, because our master bedroom is up a set of steps, and we both have bad arthritis, and going up and down those steps, it's like, oh. And my mother, she goes, you've got too many steps in this house. I'm like, oh, it's fine. That was in my 20s, my 30s, but now I'm going, dang, I got too many steps in this house. What can I do to make it better?
Yeah.
And so that's the thing. I think a lot of people are seeing, okay, I've got my house and I love my house, but it needs some work. So that renovation. So you're still doing, so how many renovation projects did you say you have going right now?
I've only got 3 renovation projects going
right and the rest are custom. So how far out, if somebody wanted to get you to do any renovation, how far out would it be before you could get things done?
Probably, I would be guesstimating sometimes in July or something.
Well, that's not, honestly, I was expecting next year.
Yeah, no.
Y'all stay so busy.
Yeah, I know. I could, but hopefully some of these that I've got going, I'm fixing to, they're on the tail end.
Oh, so you're about to wrap them up.
I'm about to wrap some up. So,
okay.
But yeah, it's, somewhere about in there.
Okay. Well, and I love the fact, and these are things, my husband and I've talked about doing some things, and we absolutely were like, well, building prices are too high right now. I'm not going to go pay $20 for a 2x4.
Yeah.
And so he was wanting to do something the other day, so can I go buy some lumber? And I'm like, I don't know, give it another month. We're still recovering from Christmas.
Yeah.
But I said, we get on into the spring, we'll start looking at getting some lumber and doing some repairs. Because, when you live, we've been in our place since 1992. That's a few years. And our house, we are just needing to do some repairs. The barn's needing some repairs, just some basic maintenance stuff.
Yeah, or you could be like my wife. I spent all day Saturday, not all day Saturday, I spent about 4 hours Saturday replacing faucets in the house that were perfectly good, but they didn't look like the way she wanted them to look.
Oh, how funny. So she went and bought new faucets.
Yeah.
A faucet changing party.
Yeah. So,
that's hysterical. I love it.
Yeah, but then she bought one for our master, the shower and tub. And so I told her, I said, make sure you get Delta, so the rough end can work. What I didn't realize is, Delta makes 2 different rough ends. So when I, got everything and was replacing the cartridge, as soon as I pulled it out, I thought, this is the old style. So I ended up, completely, having to go in, cut drywall, go inside, completely change out the rough end to accommodate this one. So, yeah, it was
a little bit more than you signed on for.
Yeah.
It's so funny because we have a teacher, one of our teachers at Greenbrier, one day he comes on and he has puts up an email. He says, okay, my wife had a light fixture changing party, so these are free if you want them. Because it sounds like that Diana had a faucet changing party.
She got tired of looking at them, and then we're going to change these.
I love it. That's hysterical. That's so funny. Sometimes you just want different. You just want different.
Even
That's
though
great.
They're perfectly good.
There you go. We'll sell them on Marketplace.
Yeah.
Put them up on Marketplace. Sell them things. People buy anything on Marketplace.
I know.
So, they really will.
Some of the things they got on there for like $2 and $3, and I thought,
why bother? Yeah. Yeah, I got you.
I can't do that.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm just messing. We're talking with Trent Cobb. If you have any building questions, and if you need a good builder, if you want to do a custom home, if you've got some renovation that you want to do, if you want to talk to Diana and all the realtors about what they can do for you at the real estate table, tell them how to get in touch with all y'all.
You can get in touch with me at the construction side at 615-335-1316. Again, that is 615-335-1316, or you can reach Diana on the real estate side at 335-1266, 615-335-1266.
Very good. And we're going to take a pause, and we're going to do a break for Cumberland Connect. This is something I'm so excited about. Are you a Cumberland Connect customer?
It is great.
Oh, it's wonderful. It is, if you're a Cumberland Electric customer, good news. You get to have Cumberland Connect now, and it is high-speed internet for all of us who've been, suffering through. Before you got Cumberland Connect, what kind of internet did you have? Because you're out.
We had no internet. We used hotspots.
See? It is wonderful. How long have y'all had them?
We have had it for probably 3 months now, I think.
Isn't it great? And I got mine about a month ago.
Yeah, it is funny because our office in town is right beside TSC.
Okay.
And, we have, I guess, Comcast or whatever in there. And, she was complaining she'd always have to go to the office to do work. Mm-hmm. And now she complains because when she's at home, the Cumberland Connect is so much faster than what she's got at the office.
Yeah.
So
it's so funny. Yesterday, my kids we had family day celebrating my son Elijah's birthday. Happy birthday! And they're all techie. They're all geeks when it comes to technology. And my one that's the electrical engineer, one of the first things he did when he walked in the house yesterday was to test our internet speed, and he was like, "Oh my goodness!" It's just because they're so used to it being nothing. Mm-hmm. And so this is one of the first things he did. Walk through the door, and we're talking about doing the boosters to get it out into the barns and all of that. Do you have this signal extender to get it?
No, we don't have it out there right now. Well, no, because where our house sits, it's on our farm. It's up on top of a hill around none of the other barns and stuff like that.
Oh,
now, down at where Jackson has his house now, which he inherited my mom's house when she passed away. That's where all the stables and the old milk barn and all that is.
So, that's the thing. I'm trying to get it because I'm doing photography and I'm turning my barn into a studio. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to be able to have connectivity in that barn, whenever we're doing work out there. And so that's the thing. I've got to get an extender or something because it's amazing. And I could sit here and talk for a while about this, but the cool thing is, and it is now a utility. It is like, you would never build a house if you couldn't get phone service. Right. Well, now you need to, when you're building a house, you need to make sure you got good internet. That's really something that kept my son from looking at property in certain areas because he has to have good internet because he works from home some, and he has to have high-speed internet. Mm-hmm. And so you got it now in Robertson County because of Cumberland Connect and Cumberland Electric. And if you're somebody that can't afford high-speed internet, well, guess what? There's an affordable connectivity program providing qualifying households with a monthly credit to help pay for internet service. And if eligible, you may receive a credit of up to $30 per month toward your broadband service. If you want to know more, want to know when they're coming and knocking on your door, go to cumberlandconnect.org, put in your address. That will give you all the details. Allergies. 1-800-987-2362 is the number to call if you want details. 1-800-987-2362 or go to cumberlandconnect.org. Tell them you Turn and Trent sent you, and I keep telling everybody that comes in and helps me endorse them, I'm going to have to pay y'all because they're one of our full-time sponsors now. So anyway, anything you want to say as we finish up the show here, my friend?
I debated on whether or not to say this, and since we're almost
I'll go for it.
I am also, as of March the 6th, going to become a building inspector for Robertson County. So I'm actually doing a little bit right now just because Mr. R.D. Huffines retired.
Okay.
And like him or not, Mr. R.D. is a great man, still a good friend of mine. But he decided it was just time for him. He was a little over 70 years old, so he decided it was time to retire. So
that's so cool.
And I will assure you that I will not be inspecting my own properties.
Gotcha. Well, of course, but that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So starting when again?
March the 6th, the first
March
Monday
the
in March.
6th. So are you going to be in the office? Or
I'll be in the office and out in the field. But luckily I have, Luke, my right-hand man, and then Diana and my daughter Kristen, as far as the building side of it, and, a lot of that, because let's face it, I'm getting old, and Luke and Christian and them, they take care of most of the stuff anyway. So,
oh, that's awesome, Trent. Well, congratulations. How exciting.
Yeah, they called me and asked if I'd be willing to do that. And I said, well, yeah, I think so. Me and Dinah prayed about it.
Yeah.
And thought, well, yeah, this will be something so I can hopefully slow down a little bit.
Well, there you go. Congratulations. That's awesome. But that's very cool. Now we need to have you in from a building perspective, from building inspection perspective and stuff. Okay. Very cool. I love it because I have so many questions now. I did not know that. Because as I'm trying to, because I've got to, if I do the thing in my basement or in my lower part, because it's not really a basement.
Yeah.
I've got to have you come out and take a look at it.
Yeah, because you're in the county.
Yes.
Or you're not in the city.
No, I'm in the county.
Okay, yeah, because one side of the road and part of it, but you're far enough out that you are county.
So would you be the inspector on that?
Yes, in the county I would be. In the city you still go through Mark Fields and their office. For city, Springfield city stuff, but anything outside the county, that would be the Robertson County. Well, outside the city is Robertson County.
Awesome.
Offices.
Very cool. I love this. That's so good to know, Trent. Thank you so much for that little sneak peek into what's going on in your world. Awesome. Thank you for coming in.
Yes,
and we'll have you in next time as the building inspector.
There you
go. But always Cobb Hill Homes. Check them out. Give your phone numbers again a couple of times as we're heading out.
615-335-1266. 615-335-1266. That is Diana's. And mine is 615-335-1316. Again, 615-335-1316.
Outstanding. This is 1100 WSGI. Have a fabulous day. Happy President's Day. God bless.
Hey, kids, what time is it?